Hey guys, Moses here again, and today I'm gonna be playing through my favorite amp, possibly right now, as of right now, my favorite amp of all time, which is the Mesa Mark IV. There's a lot of good things about this amp. It's a classic. The guys from Metallica used it, I believe, in the Black Album. Lamb of God, I think they might still be using these. I know they used the Triple Crown, which is a recent one. But anyways, this amp has had a history of just tone that it's a classic. It's not going to go anywhere. This amp is from 1993 and it still holds up pretty well. In my opinion, you do not need an overdrive or some sort of boost pedal for this because there's a lot of distortion and it remains very, very clean, especially for lead assisting. I like my triple rectifier a lot, but the thing is, you got to boost it unless you have a really hot pickups, which kind of compensates for that. But no, with this, I feel like it is the perfect amp for metal. The cleans are really pristine. So I'm just going to shut up now. I'm going to run through the first, second, and third channels. I'm not going to talk too much. There's a lot of things going on with this amp, and I could talk about this thing for like an hour. I'm just going to try to shorten these things out. And I'll just start off with the distortion channel because it sounds great. Channel 3, by the way. Cool. So I'm gonna mess around with the graphic EQ because that is where the tone is. I know the EQ knobs have like this subtle influence. Mostly the treble gives it more of this bite. So I just turned down the treble knob pretty bad. So check this out now. If I bump it up back to 10. So like these amps, I know Mesa has this like history of like fidgeting with the EQs for a long time, but yeah, this amp is just very strange, very foreign to me, but it just works. So now I'm gonna put the EQ to like that V shape, the classic V shape. But yeah, it just sounds really tight. So check this out. I just bumped up the mix. And you hear obviously though that big mid bite, not a bite, but that big push. The thing is with these kind of amplifiers, you kind of have to scoop it. Don't be afraid to like completely drop it because these things are pretty mid heavy. So, and I'll explain to that. I'm gonna turn off the EQ. So this is the third channel distortion without the EQ engaged. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. You could mess around with the EQ to get something a little more, I guess, better. Usable maybe, but check this out, like almost completely. Yeah, there's just there's no comparison, right? I'm gonna put it back to where I had it here. It's a bell curve. So I think James Hetfield might have done this with the Mark III. He's done a couple of settings with them, but usually the V, how I had it like this, is pretty much what I guess your go-to kind of tone. Just something straightforward. But there's just no right or wrong answer using the EQ knob. So let's just have it like this, see how this sounds. In my opinion, I'm starting to like this like bell curve type of like tone a little better. I mean, it's just great. Like, there's nothing going through in the front of the amp. All I have is the Decimator, and I'm also running through the effects loop the Hall of Fame, which is a reverb. And I'll, turn that on so you guys can hear it. Well, yeah, for leads, it's just awesome. This is my favorite amp when it comes to leads. I just like it a lot. It sounds really good. And then I just went back, turned off the reverb. It's very articulate. I'll show you what I mean. But yeah, as you can tell, it just sounds great. But that's pretty much it for the third channel. I mean, it's great for leads, rhythm. It's really, really good. I'm gonna show you guys the clean channel, which is the first channel, and the second channel is more like a push type of clean channel. You could get like some metal tones, which I'll discuss that in a bit. So yeah, the third channel is great. Okay, so now I'm gonna be playing through the second channel, which is like, again, a distortion channel. You could get some like rock, hard rock, or probably with like blues tones out of this, something with a little bit of dirt. It's more towards like a not as tight as channel 3, but it's still very usable. And let me just turn on the EQ and just give it a shot. Not bad. I think the distortion might be on all the way, and like it's not noisy, it's usable, and there's just, I'm gonna mess a little bit more with the graphic EQ, see what else I can get from it. So let's try. What I did right there is that on the gain channels, or on the gain knob of the second and third channels, you can pull them and you get more of like a boosted type of sound. So check this out. If I were to push it in and now we're to pull it back, you get a little bit more tightness, but still not like channel 3. It's just a little more articulate. Anyways, channel 2 is pretty good. You could set this up as your rhythm tone and maybe your lead tone. It says it right there on the foot switch, but I use channel 3 for my rhythm and lead tone. It just sounds so great. I'm gonna go back to rhythm 2 with the reverb on. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty fluid sounding and very usable again. So that's pretty much it for the rhythm, or rhythm 2, channel 2. I'm gonna try out the cleans now, because the cleans on this are my favorite. Gonna add some reverb. There's something on my guitar. So that's about it for the amplifier. There are a bunch of settings in the back like harmonic simulclass that do have an influence on the tone. But the thing is, like I was saying, there's just a whole lot of things I could talk about this guitar. It has a bunch of like pull knobs. If I were to pull this on the clean channel, it just makes it more bright. Let me see if you guys can hear that. But if I push it in, a little bit. There's just a lot of things you could do with this amp. But overall, man, this amp, I just like it so much. It's just very, it's going to sound kind of corny, but it's a very powerful amp. You could get a whole bunch of different tones. The leads, it's classic. You could get a Metallica tone pretty fast. The thing is about, Mesa amps are kind of hard to EQ. But once you do it, it's like, taking the biggest crap in the world after 2 days of holding it in, or, something like that. It's just great, man. If you find one of these, I highly recommend it because you're just going to be very happy with it. It's pretty heavy. It's a rack mount version, but like I'm saying, you cannot go wrong with this amplifier. It's just, I fell in love with it immediately because there's just no pedals needed. There's nothing like that. You could do it. I personally haven't done it yet because I just feel like you shouldn't. There's enough gain for me. The leads are just beautiful. This thing has a built-in reverb, which is fine, but get a pedal. It's just way more convenient. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Mesa's one of those brands where they have a really reliable history, tone, very iconic type of brands, and I really recommend you getting something like this. I hope you guys enjoy. Subscribe if you'd like, and check out the other videos. I forgot to mention I'm playing my Kelly, which I'm gonna do something on it soon, so yeah, stick for that. Have a nice day.